Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am Adam, and this is Open Late. And happy holidays to all of you. It is, of course, Christmas Day, and I thought, what better toy to open on Christmas Day than a Naughty or Nice classic Santa? This is, I think, this is a reissue. I got one from Arlen, but I wanted to keep one in the box, and so I actually ordered another one. And this one came with sort of some damage to the package. You can see there. So I figured I may as well open this one. And after I open that, I think I might open this Miniverse Harry Potter Make It Mini Potions. Because why not? At Christmas time, we always watch all of the Harry Potter films. I think actually my wife and three kids and my sister-in-law are out watching Harry Potter right now. And when I'm done, I'll get back to more Harry Potter. So I'll do that. And then, we'll sort of see how the evening goes. I may open this guy as well. This is, of course, the G.I. Joe HasLab Dragonfly Wild Bill. I've got my Dragonfly open, but I haven't opened a single one of the figures. So I figured, it's Christmas. Maybe I'll sort of get that. Maybe use that as a reason. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. There's no logic to it. But yeah, there we go. We'll just leave him right here. And we'll see how far we get. I've got the other three figures too. So, if we're having a good time, who knows? I might open all four of them. But I am here. You are here. Let's open some toys, shall we? I had a little bit of a lean year as far as toy gifts for Christmas went. The year's been kind of crazy. I've gotten everything that I've needed. There wasn't anything that I wanted or anything I was really waiting on. Plus, we've got some other things to pay for. I am going away for 2 weeks, starting Sunday. And then, we got con season starting up relatively quickly after that. So just a lot of stuff going on. And, I didn't actually get any action figures for Christmas, but that's okay. That's perfectly fine. My kids got some dolls, I guess. Got some Monster High stuff and some Harry Potter stuff and stuff like that. So we still got to open some toys today, which was super fun. And so there we go. I still have to record my top 10. I still got to do a collection tour. I still got 2 more figures that I want to unbox and do videos for before I leave on Sunday. So it's it's a little bit chaotic, but such is life. That's Christmas time, right? What if Christmas time is relaxing and slow, you're doing it wrong. Or at least in my house, that's the way it seems to go. Anyway, just say hello to the chat here. Josh Brown is here. What's going on, Josh? Good to have you. No Chewing is hanging out as well. Justin Mohan and Allison Troy in the chat. A couple more of you watching as well, but thank you for joining me. If you're in the chat, if you're hanging out, let me know what you got for Christmas. Did you get any action figures? Did you unbox anything today? I'm curious, where everybody was at. In previous years, I feel like I've gotten like huge hauls of toys sort of right around Christmas time, but this, I didn't really get that this year for some reason. Maybe I just wasn't buying the right things, that I got them, earlier in the year or whatever, but, anyway, I got my Kilowog. Actually, I should say that. I got my Kilowog, and I've got the video done. I just have to finish editing that. That should go out tomorrow. He's okay. I don't love him, but anyway. All right, let's start with Santa. I have a bunch of these Naughty or Nice figures. I, done videos for them as well. I love them. These things are super, super fun. This one is it's in a Marvel Legends box, basically. It's like this. It's exactly the same as a Marvel Legends box. or sort of Marvel Legends boxes as they used to be. Not quite, in terms of this and stuff, but so you get Naughty or Nice, Classic Santa. You get the cross sell on the other figures that came in this wave. This is sort of like the first wave. So you had Sergeant Santa, Mall Santa, Cyborg. Oh, actually, Mall Santa was in wave 2. That's why it says coming soon, because he was a wave 2 figure. Sergeant Santa, Cyborg Santa, Krampus in Santa disguise. In wave 2, of course, we got the Krampus in Krampus disguise. And then Pirate Santa, which I just noticed he has like braids in his beard, which is kind of cool. I don't know if you can see that or not, but anyway. So yeah, this is I think I have all of wave 2 now. But this Classic Santa, I think, is kind of like, if you're just going to get one, I think Classic Santa is probably it. It's probably the one that you need the most. But let's get this guy out of the box. I haven't opened a Marvel Legends in a long time. I can't remember where they put the tape and sort of what the process is here. But we'll open this guy from the bottom. I'm not going to be keeping the packaging because it's already damaged, so what's the point? You get that snowflake insert in there. That's festive. That's fun. That's recycling. A little baggie of goods. It seems appropriate that Santa would come with a sack full of toys. And fun thing I learned about these recently is that they open. I have opened like half a dozen of these figures. I think probably 3 or 4 of them have come with, that gift. And I had no idea that it opened till I saw somebody else open one. All right, I'm gonna cut him out of here. Should do it. All right, so when I got this guy, actually, admittedly, I thought the reissue, I thought was going to be a reissue. I thought it was going to be the new packaging as well as a different look. But when I compared the one that I got, this one that I'm unboxing right now, to the one that Arlen had already sent me, it looks identical. So I don't know if this is the actual reissue or whether this is just like stock that they had left over that they had sort of said was sold out. I don't know. Anyway, he's pretty stiff. He had a long day last night. I guess Santa's, he's been working hard, so it makes sense that he's got stiff joints today. But there he is. Let's see. Let's see. Gabrielle is here. Good to have you. Alice and Troy absolutely cleaned up this Christmas. Mint in box vintage strawberry shortcake butterfly. Mint in sealed box vintage Kenner Glamour Gals party place playset. Classified Helix will be there Thursday. And mint in box Kenner Darcy doll from 1980 and a fancy scanner. Oh boy. And a new house. So that's a big year. 2024 is working out for you, I think, Allison. Justin Mohan says, I got superpowers and a 1/4 scale NECA cartoon Leonardo and a G1 Legacy Optimus Prime. Josh says, I don't typically get anything for Christmas these days. My wife and I just get for the kids only. Yeah, you should have seen the haul for our kids. But that's like the same for us. it's we buy what we need throughout the year, so we don't really need anything by the end of the year, and it just feels unnecessary in a lot of ways to kind of like buy gifts just to buy gifts for ourselves. We'll just buy more stuff for our kids because they're spoiled brats and they don't deserve it. Justin says I got superpower action figures, not superpowers. I knew what you meant. Josh says if the beard is white and not cream colored, I'm pretty sure that's the reissue. Fair enough. Oh yeah, I think you're right. I think the beard on the other one is okay. No, where's my other one? Maybe my other one was a reissue already. Well, how does that make any sense? Okay, it's the same. So I have 2 reissues then? Even though this one I've got like a while ago? I don't know. That's weird. Oh well. It's all good. I don't mind one way or the other. It's a cool figure. I mean, I've seen this figure essentially before. I've seen the head, I've seen the body, I've seen all the parts. But anyway. Justin says, tell Arlen Naughty or Nice needs some snowman army builders. That would be a completely different body type, so I don't know. And it's not really entirely up to Arlen. It is a Fresh Monkey Fiction line. So Allison, Allison with a little bit of a flex. Also a new car, but hey. And Josh says, yeah, my first Santa, the beard is almost yellow. Okay, cool. I'm glad I got this one then, because when I did see that comparison, I thought that yellow beard looked kind of funky, but that's just my personal preference, I suppose. If you haven't seen one of these guys before in person, I will very, very quickly sort of go through it. The hat is, of course, removable, a nice bald head. The paint on these is pretty good. There's a little bit more wash than I particularly probably would have liked myself, but it still looks very, very good. It's executed well. It's done well. There's 2 different versions of this sort of belt piece or sort of lower coat piece. There's this one, which is a little bit shorter, which comes just below the thigh cuts. And there's another one that comes basically to the knee. But, depending on which Santa you get determines sort of which parts you get. It's actually really, really, it's a very effective line as far as parts reuse go, because a lot of it's just deco change and then sort of swapping new head sculpts, the longer jacket versus a shorter one and so on and so forth. So they're doing a really, really good job of keeping it sort of fresh and not making it feel like you're getting more of the same thing, while giving you more of the same thing. Single jointed elbows, single jointed knees, so you don't get crazy articulation, but this is Santa, so I don't think that's certainly not something that has bothered me about these figures at all, because the articulation that is in them is quite good, and you really do get most of the range of motion that I think you would probably want for a Santa Claus. So as I said, I'm not really complaining. You get a pretty good Santa for a pretty decent price, considering how many units of these I'm almost positive are selling. I don't think the demand is super high, so I don't think the quantity is super high. So for the price point, you're getting a pretty good figure. I mean, it's painted head to toe, and almost all the accessories are just fun and well done, and just cool stuff. So if you don't have a Santa, go get one. All right, let's take a look at some of the accessories. Of course, as I already mentioned, we get this winking Santa head. Let me adjust my light ever so slightly so we get a little bit better light here. So there you go. You get a winking Santa, painted the same. It's effectively the same head sculpt, just with the winking eye rather than the non-winking eye. Next, we get a Frisbee. Santa is a big fan of disc golf. Well-known fact. No, this is a plate. And with this plate, you get 2 chocolate chip cookies, because Santa loves cookies. And Santa also loves milk, of course. So you get milk. And to go with that milk, you get a glass. The milk goes in the glass like so, and it looks perfect. The fact that it comes out, I think, is cool because you can do sort of before Santa comes, you get the milk in the glass. After Santa's come to visit, the glass is empty. So there you go. Justin says, I wonder if they will run out of Santa variants. You know what? I think at some point they could. But that being said, they've done quite a few already. I think what they could do going forward is potentially mix it up a little bit more. They could add another body type. They could add a snowman body type. They could add a better articulated elf body type. There's other things that they could do within the line. Is there anybody putting out a polar bear? Could they borrow a sculpt from a polar bear and make that in the line? I don't know. I think they'll be fine, and I think that's the Naughty or Nice universe. I think could expand. They are trying to do that with like the Pumpkinhead guy, and then I think you could do other stuff too, and then kind of come back to Santa. I think this is an evergreen figure. I think this figure they could re-release every 2 years, and in small quantities, and still get people to pick it up, right? People that didn't get it the first time, didn't get it the second time for whatever reason, have been waiting or whatever. I don't know. Okay, moving on with the accessories here. We get an extra set of hands. These are just an open sort of expressive hand or holding hand. And the paint on these too, like I said, the flesh tone that they are using on these is pretty good. The paint is very, very nice. We get it's either a pointing hand or a number 1 hand. I guess it just depends, what you want to do with it. But I don't know what I would do with a pointing finger for Santa Claus. You know what? I don't think you could do it because of the articulation. I was gonna say you could do the sort of finger on the nose thing. If you can pose it like that. I don't know if he can. Actually, now I'm kind of curious. I don't think he can. I genuinely don't think his arm. Yeah, no, his arms not getting anywhere near his face. He doesn't have bicep swivel or anything. So I don't know. I don't know what you're gonna do with that one. I don't know. Santa's number 1. I don't know. We get a stand, which is well done, but I'm never gonna use it. So it doesn't mean that much to me. We get a Naughty or Nice list, which has a bunch of stuff scribbled on it. It really is scribbled. Like you can't read a single one of the names that are on here. I've tried. I've sat down and like really tried to, squint my eyes and kind of start reading something and try to figure out if any of this makes any sense. And it's all gibberish. It doesn't amount to anything at all, really. And then we get this. So we get these little gift boxes. There's basically 2 versions of this. There's this one, and there's a crunched one. For the Naughty figures, we get the crunched one, and for the Nice figures, we get the nice sort of fresh one with the nice bow on the top, which I think is pretty cool. I didn't realize that they open, or allegedly they open. I feel like I'm going to break it if I try to open it, though. Nope, it pops right open. How did I not realize that? I really thought they would open, but I couldn't. I sort of gave a very, very, very weak try to open one. And then I kind of just decided they didn't open. So I hadn't opened my other ones. But, what's cool about this is I can put some of the accessories in there or put a present in there or whatever. I mean, for photography purposes too, now you can sort of have it open. But yeah, there you go. So you get a present that opens as well. There you go. As I said, if you don't have any of the Naughty or Nice Santas, I love Christmas and I love action figures. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I think it's sort of one of those things where you get one, at least get one in your collection. They're just fun. Let's see. We need rock and roll Santa and hip hop Santa. Those would be good. I'd go for those. And polar bear Santa would be cool, right? I think so. Josh Brown says a Mrs. Claus would be nice. A Mrs. Claus would be nice. I think that's that could be something that they could do. And then once they have a female buck, from there they could do a bunch of different figures. I'm sure a bunch of different Mrs. Clauses to kind of match the Santas that they've done too. Saf is here. Good to have you. Thank you for checking in on us on Christmas. And Allison says definitely need a Mrs. Claus. More women. North Pole is turning into a sausage pole. I think it. I assume that elf wise, it should be pretty balanced. Otherwise, why would all those elves want to work there? And Santa has Mrs. Claus, so I think it's probably, the reality of the North Pole is probably that it's pretty balanced. But yeah, the balance of this line is entirely dudes. So I get it. I agree. We need Mrs. Claus. Could use the finger for pointing, reading the list. Yep, that's true. If you put the list in the other hand, Josh Brown, I would 100% buy Cyborg or Pirate Mrs. Claus. Cyborg Mrs. Claus seems like it might give people the wrong impression. But anyway, Red 5, what's going on, buddy? Good to have you. He says you should ask Mike to carry this line at his store. I don't think he can. So most of the Fresh Monkey Fiction stuff, Big Bad Toy Store has kind of the exclusive on. So I don't think it's really feasible, which is a total bummer. But what can you do? Josh Brown says cyborgs need love too. Agreed. I got no problem with metal on metal love. It's more that wasn't what I was thinking of when I thought it might give the wrong impression or sort of might get them a little bit in trouble. But I think that's more me thinking of that than other people would. And Josh said there is a robotic Santa already. There absolutely is. And I think it's getting reissued too. I think it's in the batch of reissues for next season. So I know of quite a few people actually that missed the Cyborg Santa and were hoping that one was going to get re-released. And I'm pretty sure that it is. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure that it is. Okay. All right, let me tighten up this camera angle very quickly, and then I'll open this thing. So I've got this, as I said, sort of right off the start, I've got this MGA's Miniverse Harry Potter Make It Mini Potions thing. I bought this. I don't tell my kids, but I bought this for my kids, and I just didn't realize it was one of these stupid resin things. So my wife basically said, "You have it. Don't give it to our children." All right, let me just, I want to try to get this, bear with me. I want to try to get this so that it sort of fits that classified box, but it's a little bit tighter on the framing. That's pretty good. Yeah, that'll work. I'm going to leave him right there. I'm going to move him over here. He'll just be he'll be here for the rest of the night. He's not going anywhere, but I'm going to need space for other stuff. So there we go. That's fine. Josh says my daughter got some of those mini brands. I think the potions actually scale pretty well with 112. The table, not so much. Okay, I haven't opened one. I don't actually really know much about these. I think you get, well, let's open it up and find out together. Josh already knows, but I don't. My kids are kind of crazy for these like weird blind bag mini brand type things. There's a seam in them all the time. I'm just trying to find the seam. There it is. It never works. I can never like pull the seam top to bottom. But I can dream. It's definitely not going to go top to bottom. Let's try bottom to top then. But I don't know if you can see or not, but there's like oh yeah, you can kind of see there's like a perforation through here. So they do make it so that it's relatively easy to get these open. By relative, I mean, yeah, it didn't work that time. It hasn't worked for the like 5 mini brand ball things that I opened today, which means that I got to like peel it off like I'm turning it into a streamer. I don't know why this works, and it always seems to work like this, and you can't do it just the way that it's supposed to be done, but c'est la vie. And this top bit popped off of the top. I don't know if it's supposed to or not, but anyway. I got to find the next seam because, of course, there's actually 2 layers of this. And this one did the exact same thing, because why wouldn't it? Oh. There we go. That no! Okay, so there you go. You get all the wrapping off, and then you can sort of see what's going on in here. So you get a whole bunch of these little bags inside this. This is exact same as pretty much all the other ones that I did today. That just pops open. And yeah, and then you get, a bunch of these little bags. All of them have sort of one part of what you're doing in here. And I'll show you the instructions in a second here. So there you go. That's sort of a fun one. I'll actually sort of show that a little bit closer when we sort of get there. Oh, that's interesting. The plate or the table is actually sort of like mounted into the thing, but I don't want to keep it in this thing, so that's going to go off to the side. You get this table, which is actually like really, I mean, that's not bad. I didn't even realize that was in there. It'll make for a decent little coffee table or something. I don't think it scales, it doesn't scale to like be a table for this guy. But I mean, a coffee table in front of a couch, I think would work. I think for the sake of this video, I think this table is now belongs to Santa. He's gonna get his milk and cookies on there. Maybe his list, maybe the naughty or nice list can go in here too. If I can make enough room for it. There we go. There, that works. Keeps it out of my way. And there's a bunch of these. There's actually quite a bunch of these. Quite a bunch? That's not an expression. And then a couple of them, yeah. So this isn't a bag. This is just like loose. But you get a whole bunch of stuff in there. They do a pretty good job of, giving you these are actually kind of cool. Like they do a good job with them. And I got one more. Just gonna open up. Get a nice cauldron. So yeah, like for 1/12 scale action figure stuff. That was kind of what I was looking at this for. I thought, if my kids don't like it, at least I can use it for myself. This one says 1 wand, 1 cauldron, pewter standard size 2, one set of glass or crystal vials. I think it's meant to be vials, but I'm gonna open this one first because I don't know that the packaging lines up to what's inside, but that's okay. Actually, I'm gonna take this tag off. Cauldron opens. Does it open? We've established that I don't usually check, so. Oh, I think okay, so I think there's probably like the resin part of the equation is probably in here. Okay, so that's gonna sit right there for now. This sort of table thing, you get a whole bunch of these like little. Okay, I'll sort of talk through it as I'm sort of unpacking it. So you get all these little things, and all these sort of add up to sort of like a little display type thing by the end. And in this case, and sort of the newest thing that I've been seeing, you get these like little resin things where you got to like open something up and like pour it into something else and like mix in color or something else to sort of make a potion or whatever. So this is empty, but it's pretty cool. Sort of skeleton, rib cage and arms, with a skeleton skull topper. So that's kind of fun. I don't know what it's for, but there you go. That's that. Okay, that seems like it's too big for something else. This looks like it's for pouring. Like this is a different plastic. This feels like it's this feels not like the toy part of the equation. This feels like the resin part of the equation here. Let's see. I got 2 more of these little bags to open, then I'll jump back in the chat, see what you guys are saying, because I see that there are people chatting. Hello, if you're just joining. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to have you. Christmas evening, Christmas night. Christmas evening sounds weird. It sounds like Christmas Eve. A little, ladle type thing. And then one more. Let's see what's in this one. All right, so in this one, I got what looks like it's probably going to get mixed in because it's color, so it's like silver. I assume this means it's like sparkly, metallic or something. I can see that it's that, and it's also getting all over my fingers. Oh, I do not like glitter. I do not like glitter at all. This sucks. This sucks. And then we get this, which is a bunch of little green balls. These are like actual, physical loose objects. What does this say? It just says Hogwarts. That little sticker says Hogwarts. It's plants. I don't know. It's not plants. This looks like it's probably plastic or foam or anything, but it is. I think this is plastic, but it does look very much like glass. Real cork in there. That's cool. All right. Then you get 2 little instruction books. You get Read Me first. And this, if it's anything like the other ones that I saw, is going to be like build a table. Yeah. Oh, okay. I get it. Storage and display. So this is where this comes in. So this actually plugs in on top here. So that you can actually use that for something if you want to in the future with that stopper coming out. So that's actually, cooler than I thought. A little bit. Then what else? Yeah, so then it says make it. Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. Make it. Got it. Set it. Full bottle. Set it. Layers. Powder pearls. Ingredients placement. Yeah, I need sunlight for this, so I'm not going to be making it tonight. It's daylight or UV light. I don't have a UV light. I should probably get a UV light. I don't 3D print, so I don't have a UV light. But anyway. Yeah, this is just like, don't screw up. And then they tell you how to not screw up in French. And then they tell you how to not screw up in Spanish. And they tell you how to not screw up probably in like Portuguese too. Don't screw up. But that I already knew. Doesn't typically stop me, but then we get this. So this is there you go. I thought this was going to be like the last one that I got. So this is a Skelly Grow potion. So there's all the stuff that I need right there. Then it tells you what to do. It shows the little containers that you need to pour in. So I'm going to pour those sparkles in to the cauldron. I'm going to pour the little green bits into the cauldron. I'm going to mix it up. Then I'm going to pour it into that bottle, put the cap on, and put it into that bottle, 5 to 10 minutes in the sunlight, put the cap on, and there you go. You got a little potion bottle, which is, I think, pretty cool. There are 15 of these to collect. Some are rarer than others. This one looks like it's a mandrake. I think that's kind of crazy to think that that's even something you could get. I'll be totally honest. I was hoping for one of the other ones. I was hoping for the polyjuice potion because I just think that container looks really, really cool, or the flesh-eating slug repellent because I think that one looks really cool. But now I feel like I might buy a couple more of these. If I ever see them on sale, I'm definitely going to buy more of these because they're fun. They're fun. I haven't made this one yet, but accessory-wise, like what you get in this little pack, like you get 2 candles here, keyed so that they sit properly, but they're not lit, which it would have been nice if they had wicks or something, but that one's keyed. This one's not keyed. Huh, interesting. So you can't put the wrong one in the wrong spot. It's just a candle. I don't know why it would make that much difference. I'm going to put these on here too. See, there you go. You get crossover with these things. So that's fun. Okay, well, this doesn't make any sense then. Because the cauldron has feet. So am I putting this in here? Or does this go in here? That doesn't fit. I don't know. I feel like that was meant to come with something else. Anyway, it's cool. I like this. I will probably make this tomorrow. Weather permitting, I suppose. If it's dark and gross, I won't have any sunlight to do it with, but that's okay. Oh, maybe that's just for that thing. Maybe just put that in there. I don't know. Anyway, what's going on in the chat? Let's see here. Let me backtrack a little bit. Let's see. Jeff Morris is here. Good to have you, buddy. Figuratively speaking is joined as well. Josh says the cork top is the top of the plastic ball. He beat me to it. Makes the outer plastic ball look like a flask. Like Robo says, don't put it in your mouth. Thanos Copter is here as well. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah to you too, Thanos. Good to have you. Okay, now I've got sparkles on my fingers, and I don't want to open anything else with sparkles all over my fingers, which is annoying. Can I quickly wipe my hands off on my pants well enough to get rid of the sparkles? Yeah, that's fine. I'm good with that. Should we open this guy? Are you guys interested to see this guy, or would you rather see one of the other figures from the HasLab? I have all of them. Like I said, I haven't opened any of them. So I've got Wild Bill. I'll let you guys tell me which one you want to see open. That's Wild Bill. That's the only one that's sort of like a main G.I. Joe character. He came with the Dragonfly, the vintage one, so it was a no-brainer that we would get him. Then we got the Night Force Crazy Legs. We got the Night Force Ripcord. Or I've got the Comandos Heroicos, Jane Glenda Mulligan. So we got 4 figures to choose from. Two Night Force, Glenda, and Wild Bill. I can't fit them all in because for whatever reason my camera is like at a really weird angle. But there you go. Those are the 4 to pick from. Whichever name I see first in the chat will be the one that I open first. And as I said, we'll see how this goes. If people are hanging out and having a good time and haven't got any place to be, I might open a couple of them. And don't all shout at once. I don't want anybody, to get their feelings hurt here or anything. Anyone? Nobody? Oh, Josh says Glenda. Okay. Let's do Glenda first. Move Wild Bill back. He'll sit over here. And Allison says Glenda too. Allison, I haven't opened my second HasLab, so I may. I'll talk to you later. But I have 2 dragonflies, and one of the Glendas is yours. So, if you want one sooner, I after I open this, I can send this one to you. If you're going to open it anyway, if you're going to keep it sealed, then I will send you the one in the still sealed HasLab when I open it. As I said, I just got around to opening my first one. So Seth says Glenda too. So yes. And Allison says, yeah, is your postal service running again? We need to figure out Glenda stuff. Yeah, I haven't forgotten. One of these Glendas is for Allison Troy. And you're an opener. Okay. So yeah, Allison Troy, right now, send me your address, either on Instagram or Facebook or wherever. I can't remember where I chat with people, but just send me your address. I'm planning on shipping a bunch of stuff out on Friday, so I'll try to get this in with that bunch. Okay. First things first, the package. It is sort of the new style packaging that I don't love, but that's fine. I'll probably keep the packaging for these just because they're HasLab. I haven't been keeping the classified packaging for the last little bit because the box is becoming less and less exciting with seemingly like every revision or sort of version of the box that they do. These HasLab ones are unique because they're blue, not the typical black, and then they have completely different design as far as what is printed graphically and stuff like that. So you get like Wild Bill symbol in here on the top. We get the dragonfly, so it's like a matte finish box, but then you got the dragonfly in gloss. She is, of course, Comandos Heroicos, which I think is Brazil or Argentina. I can never remember, where Glenda first appeared, but it was a South American company that got the molds and sort of the licensing to sort of use the molds, and basically printed a Scarlet figure in a different paint deco. And Glenda was born, and the rest is history. But it's really, really cool to me, at least, that they're using the HasLab to sort of get out some of these figures that we probably wouldn't otherwise get. I don't think we would have gotten Glenda in a classified release had it not been by way of a HasLab. So I'm very, very happy to get it. And of course, it says HasLab right at the bottom there as well. On the bottom, instead of the normal legalese, we get Yeehaw Champion G.I. Joe, and that's on all of the boxes in this HasLab. I don't know where that comes from. I mean, there's gotta be like a reference for that, but I don't honestly know what it is. We get the icons for her specialties, and then some artwork down at the bottom there as well. We get full artwork on the back for each of the characters, and I'm not going to go over every box. I'll do her and Wild Bill, but if I end up opening more, I'll just skip the box, which is why I'm kind of taking a little bit longer with her. And then on the other side, typically we would get a strip of this art on this side, but what is cool is that with these ones, they actually, and I will show this is all you'll see of sort of all the boxes together. You know what? I'm probably going to do all the boxes. Who am I kidding? Because they're all slightly different. But they're all numbered. And when you line them all up, you get sort of this cool dragonfly art piece, which I think is kind of cool, which is, again, why I would keep these boxes and not the other ones. There you go. There's the side for those ones. As I mentioned with Glenda, you get the Comandos Heroicos. For the 2 Night Force guys, you get Night Force. And I'm going to tuck them out of the way. And then for Wild Bill, you get the Dragonfly XH1 logo right there, which I think is a really, really cool logo, and I would love that on a t-shirt, but I have yet to find it. Maybe one day. So yeah, there you go. That's the box. Who cares? I kind of do, but kind of don't. Josh says they must have lost the budget to pay artists for the individual set on the boxes. Yeah, I don't know. Once they stopped doing the unique art for every figure, that was sort of the beginning of the end to me. They went from like artists doing the art to kind of unique art for every character, and now it feels really cookie cutter, and I don't care about it anymore at all. So anyway, that's where we're at. You get this background that appears to be, the sky in the insert, which makes sense. It comes with the dragonfly. And then here we have, Josh says, I thought that was fun. So did I. I genuinely, I loved it. You can't see it because it's completely sort of way away from where the camera ever is. But in the collection tour video, I'll make sure that I show it. I have all my classified boxes kind of along the top of the wall that the figures are on. When I do my normal videos, I have the figures behind me at the top of that wall. I kept, what have I got? Like 120 different G.I. Joe classified figure boxes up there, because they were cool and the art was good, and it was worth keeping them up there. But it doesn't feel that way anymore when they feel really cookie cutter. Seth says, I think Brazil. Allison Troy says Argentina. I'm gonna go with Argentina. I believe Allison on this one. Yeah. So I got. Okay, I'll pop all this stuff out and then I will give my little story. And I'm being extra gentle, Allison, so that all the card. I'm not even gonna take the alternate hands out. I'm not even gonna take the pistol out, to be honest, because it's just going back in there. The pistol is taped in and the hands are taped in. But Allison, since you're probably gonna get this one, I can leave them in there. I don't need them for the sake of sort of checking this figure out. All right, there we go. First up, the figure, and of course, this is Scarlet. So for anybody that got the retro carded Scarlet, this is effectively the full body that we got with Scarlet. Arms, full torso, full legs. You can even see the throwing stars there. It's complete reuse of the body. What you get that's different, of course, is the head and the web gear. So she's got this full sort of flight gear type harness. Presumably, you would have a parachute attached to this in some way, I would think. But I guess you don't have to. The hair sculpt on this is really good. She's got that short blonde hair that it's sculpted really, really well as well. But the hair is removable. So I will get to that in a moment when I get to the other hair that you can put on the figure. But yeah, it's a figure that we already know, as I said, because we've already got it with the retro carded Scarlet. But then you get a bunch of cool stuff in here. And this one's interesting because I thought this would be packed in with the Dragonfly, but it is not. So this is like a harness that you can put on any classified figure, either to save their life or for, private encounters, I suppose. Would work as well. And it's adjustable. So you've got it's adjustable at the leg, it's adjustable at the waist, it's adjustable at the torso. So you can get just about any figure into this, I would suspect. And then it's got a hook on there. You can see the silver hook here. And on the Dragonfly, it has a winch with a hook. So you can basically, hook a figure into this and airlift them out. So that is a very, very cool accessory that now I definitely need to open my other Dragonfly because I need that harness to sort of complement the winch. We get a backpack, and this is great. The little tube on here is pretty cool. And this, of course, is going to plug into this weapon right here, or at least it better, because that's what I... Wait, where's this going to plug in? I don't see where this is going to plug in. Am I wrong? Where does that plug into? Has somebody else opened the Dragonfly? What is this gonna plug into? Or does it just plug into... Is there something on our web gear where it plugs in? I'm just trying to work through in my head where that is gonna go. That's like, it's gonna plug in. Oh, never mind. There's a port. Okay, I didn't even see it. It's in a weird spot. There's a port on the back there. So that's gonna plug in like that. Probably easier once you have it in hand. I'm not even going to bend the joints because Allison, this one's coming to you. So I'm going to be very, very gentle. Very, very gentle, and just sort of show you guys sort of what you got. There is, there's like a mushroom peg on this. So once it's in there, it's going to be nice and snug. I'm also not going to push it all the way in. Because since this one is going to go to Allison, I don't want, I want it in like as pristine a condition as I could possibly get it. And to that end, I'm actually going to take that out, take this off her back. Just leave it there. Yeah, okay, so I wanted to show the hair. Good head sculpt. It's a little bland, I guess. There's nothing especially detailed about this head sculpt, which is totally fine, but a little underwhelming. But what is cool is that we get, just like we got with Lady J, was the first figure that I think I ever had that had removable hair. We get these removable hairstyles. So you got that one that's pretty straight, pretty slick. And then we've got a little bit longer version that has a little bit more wave in it. It's got a little bit more, attitude in this one. But they're both good. I think they're both pretty good. I'm just trying to think of where I put the other repaint of this figure. I can't remember what her hair looked like, but I wonder if that's the same hair that we got on that figure. And then we get a couple other options. If I can get this off, we get an option that also has some, communications gear. Which looks really, really good. That looks really good. Executed very well, painted very well. This looks more like this hairstyle, which makes me think that I need to switch back. I think this one is sort of close cut and shorter because this one fits under the helmet. So there's also, a pilot's helmet, which actually has a tampo that says Comandos Heroicos on it as well. Very, very cool. Very clean, especially for such a small print. But I think this probably fits over top of the hair. Is that correct? Because this isn't keyed. So all of these are keyed. There's like actually 4 spots where it's keyed. You can see right in the top, there's 2 sort of grooves and then a notch at the back, which makes me think that because this has none of that, that it probably just fits over top of the hair. But that seems odd. I feel like they could have just done another one. Nope, that's how it goes. Actually, that looks pretty badass too. That looks really badass. Very, very cool. Now the weird thing is Wild Bill doesn't come with a helmet. So I feel Ray Paz, I feel like you're a little behind. Like a lot behind, but that's okay. I will, yeah, you might figure it out. You might, you got, what I never understand. Sorry, this is an aside. In the comments, when people are behind, do they not see the other comments and realize maybe Ray just wants Crazy Legs next? So I'll do Crazy Legs next. But Ray, if you're 10 minutes behind everybody else, I feel bad for you because your comments are never going to make any sense. Yeah, this looks really, really good. I think this is a cool look. It seems like a weird choice though for me. Well, no, I guess it doesn't, and it doesn't because he's got a helmet that I think somewhat matches this one, and Crazy Legs helmet not so much. I think this helmet is more of like a flight helmet than Crazy Legs, but anyway, we'll get there when we get there. Allison says if he's in top comments, then it will stay with wherever he is in the video. Yeah. That's the first thing I do is I always switch to live comments because I hate to be that guy. I hate to be the guy that asks the same question as somebody else did 5 minutes ago. But anyway, Justin says, since you're opening up these now, what happens if there are QC issues? If there are QC issues, I email Hasbro and see what they say. But I don't know. I'm hoping I don't have any QC issues, but Mr. Backtastic is here. Good to have you. And Ray Paz, sorry, we're giving him a hard time, but Ray Paz, good to have you, buddy. So yeah, there's Glenda, a very, very cool figure. I think, the options for, the helmet versus the hair, and I knew that was going to happen. The hair came off in the helmet, and I'm going to have to like fish it out now. There we go. But yeah, it's a cool figure. I like that we got it. As I said, I mean, I'm pretty happy that the HasLab team is taking HasLabs as sort of their opportunity to make these figures that otherwise we might not see. The sort of deep cuts and decos that might not have any other opportunity to be included in the line. So very, very cool. Ray Paz is so far behind. Argentina, I believe. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate that. You don't know that you're way behind, so you will catch up in due time, and hopefully you'll hit that live button. You'll catch up to us. All right. Ray Paz says Crazy Legs, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to open Wild Bill next, and then maybe Ray Paz will catch up to us. And by the time he's caught up to us, I will jump into Crazy Legs. I think that makes the most sense. And Allison says deep cuts are perfect for a HasLab. I agree. I mean, Wild Bill's a no-brainer. He came with the Dragonfly, and it's like, when people are like, oh, how am I going to get a Wild Bill if I don't get a Dragonfly? If you don't have the Dragonfly, you don't need Wild Bill that bad. And I think we'll probably get a retro carded Wild Bill sooner rather than later. Anyway, that's just how Hasbro seems to be doing things. So Josh Brown says, Ray is the ghost of Christmas past. Yes, he's forcing us to relive our dark moments 10 minutes ago. Sci-fi George says, is Glenda a good witch or a bad witch? Oh, she is a bad witch for sure. All right, we will move on. I will do Wild Bill next, as I said, and then in the batting circle, we'll have Crazy Legs next up on deck. Actually, I may as well pull this guy down too while we're at it, so that we know where we're at. There. Okay, right there. So Wild Bill is one of those characters that may have a bit of a questionable past, somewhat. But very, very cool. I don't want to get this wrong. I'm going to feel bad, but I'm pretty sure this is an Army cavalry hat. Which they still wear on occasion. So it's pretty cool that they included that, and I think they did a pretty good job of recreating that, given that they probably can't use the official one. I don't know, maybe that's not true. Maybe that was just true with Gung Ho and the Marine thing. But again, the box itself, it's fine. You get Wild Bill, you get the Dragonfly logo there, you get his specialties there. No QR codes on these, which is kind of interesting. Then you get the art on the back, and you get that Dragonfly art on the side. I think this Dragonfly art on the side is the same as the box that the Dragonfly comes in. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm also not really that concerned about double checking that. So you'll just have to take my word on it. And my word is not 100% certain, so it's kind of useless. All right, Billy boy, let's get you out of the packaging here. Now, this one is staying in my collection, so I'm taking everything out. The tape's coming off. Or at least I'm going to try to take the tape off. Okay, that's not going to be easy. I think Ray Paz caught up. I think he might have caught up, but we'll see. Ray, did you catch up? All right, Wild Bill. William Wild Bill Hardy. I don't want to block Glenda. That feels unfair. Okay, let's take a look at Wild Bill. Out of the box there, we have him. He looks great. Good head sculpt. Wonderful mustache. As I said, that really cool Army cavalry hat. He's got these gloves that have like is that a longhorn? I think that's a longhorn, and then a star. There's like these cool, his belt is in that particular sort of style as well, that Western style, and he's got detail all on the belt as well. The U.S. flag on one shoulder, Dragonfly flag on the other shoulder. The vest is kind of a Western style vest too. It's got the little detailing on there. Very, very cool. I mean, he's just such a unique figure. The boots kind of look like cowboy boots without being like 100% in your face cowboy boot. There's a little bit of paint on the green as well. It doesn't necessarily look at it when you sort of get the first glance, but everywhere that there's these zippers, there's actually a darker green that they've painted. And then, for the little zipper pulls, There's little hits of silver. So they've done a really good job. It's subtle, but it's there and it works. And I am very, very pleased with this. I think there is printing underneath the vest as well. But I would have to sort of take the figure apart to really know for sure. He's a little bit loose in the ab crunch, but that's fine. I'm not worried about that. His wrist is a little bit, loose on both hands as well. But again, I don't, that's not a huge QC issue for me. I'll heat them up and sort of test all the joints, once I'm done. And by once I'm done, I mean probably like in a couple days. And if I notice any QC issues, I will definitely be contacting Hasbro. I've seen a few people that have had a couple issues, I think mostly with Crazy Legs, actually. But it's it's a concern, right, when you're paying this much for what you're getting here, that you'd have a QC issue that they wouldn't be able to resolve. But I haven't had any issues with stuff yet. I also don't really break figures, so okay, so you get this, and then you get some alternate stuff as well. So this is again a removable, again keyed hair and hat sculpt that is together. You could put the alternate hair on there if you want him without a hat, and if you want him with a hat that is removable, they give you another hat. So you actually get two hats and two hairstyles. But that hat, let's be honest, that hat looks kind of hokey because of the way it sits. Like the hat looks way wider. It looks like one of those like novelty hats. It's like way too big. So I think for myself, that is going to be the one, because it is much narrower in sort of profile as a result of being molded sort of directly onto the head. So that's, I think, where you get the two. He, of course, gets the glasses. The vintage figure always had the glasses. They were molded on. In this case, they are an accessory. And his hair is actually, there's actually like a sculpted, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but you can sort of see where there's a little bit of a shadow there. So it's sculpted for the sunglasses, I hope, because I really want the sunglasses to stay on well. Yeah, and they stay on pretty good. I think a little bit of heat, the same bath that I'm going to use to loosen up the joints, I'm going to use to kind of mold the glasses a little bit. And what I found is once you do that, they typically stay on even better. So they're on there decently well, but I'm definitely going to heat them up and kind of mold them to his face a little bit more. I think they kind of just throw them in a package, when they put these figures in box, and usually the things get bent or things get sort of tucked in a way that isn't ideal, and things get a little bit crooked. I can see that the arms on the glasses are like a little off, so I think that's probably why it doesn't sit very well. He gets a little painted blade, and that is going to tuck into the vest right here. He also gets two pistols. They are matching, so I'll show you one for the sake of the ease of showing you. So you get these revolvers with the white grip, a little gold star painted on there as well, and the gold stars on either side. And as I said, you get two, and they are the same. There they are. They are going to go in there as so. And he looks really good. He looks the part. He absolutely looks the part. Now I gotta sort of make room for everybody at Santa's party. So there you go. There's Wild Bill. I feel like he's gonna fall over, but that's fine. He can fall if he wants to. There's Wild Bill. 2 down, 2 to go. What are you guys thinking here? Let's go back to the chat and see what's going on. Let's see. Justin asks, what classified stuff are you looking forward to in 2025? I will be perfectly honest. I don't know. I was I have been so busy that I have not been keeping track of what's coming in 2025. I know what I've pre-ordered that I haven't gotten yet, and of that stuff, I think Xandar is probably the thing that I'm most excited about. But there's so much stuff in the pipeline, and I've honestly kind of lost track of toys. Just like it's crazy how a year ago I was so dialed in and I was like so in the loop, and I knew, timelines, and I knew when things were going to get released and pre-ordered and shipped and all that kind of stuff. Now I have no idea. I have no idea. So what am I looking forward to most in 2025? Stay tuned. I'm going to do a most anticipated of 2025 list, probably kind of mid to end of January. But I'm going to be doing some research. As I said, I'm going away for 2 weeks, and part of that time I'm actually going to take to sort of sit down and like look at what 2025 looks like in terms of toys and stuff like that. So I'm going to do a video, but I literally have to like backtrack and do some research as to what's coming in 2025. Classified wise, I don't know. AWOC wise, there's definitely stuff I'm looking forward to. Sci-Fi George says, do you plan on using any of the sticker sheets for the Dragonfly XH1? I stickered mine up and even went on Amazon and got a few American flags to slap on it. Okay, yes, and that's wherein lies the difficulty. The sticker sheets are phenomenal for anybody that sort of isn't familiar. I actually have my sticker sheets because I haven't used any of them yet. But since you asked, and since we're opening the HasLab Dragonfly figures, let me pull them out and we can take a quick look at them. I'm definitely putting the chips and salsa stickers on. I am definitely putting the teeth and the eyes on. As far as some of these other ones, I don't know. I've got to sort of look at what other people have done and, which ones people have used and sort of go from there. You get this like alternate. Oh, here. Let me spin it around. You get this alternate sticker sheet. So so use it if we look at this, right? You get the teeth and stuff like that sort of traditional you see fighter jets and stuff that have that. This is really cool. There's like a zombie version of the decals. And because I've got two, and because I intend to keep two, I'm really seriously considering putting these on one of them. They look awesome. They're a ton of fun, and it would just make for a really cool toy. And the thing is, the Dragonfly to me is a toy, and this would just make my toy that much cooler. Going back to this, so this is sort of the decaling for the like zombie kind of version of it. And I think the second base, if I put the zombie decals on, there's a display stand, and I'm going to put that on. I already used the big decal that was here to put on the display stand, so I am going to use the decals for sure. I'm just not 100% certain exactly which ones I'm going to use and where. But that's a very good question. I probably won't sticker it till like May. It'll take me that long to decide what to do. I also kind of like once I kit it out, like once I connect or once I decide, what loadout I'm going to put on it, it's probably going to be set with that loadout for good. So I think the zombie one, I'm going to put all the heavier rockets, and then the standard one, I'm going to go a little bit lighter for the armaments. So there you go. That's just an aside about my two Dragonflies. Who do you think Wild Bill's favorite country artist is? If I could name a country artist, I would, but I don't know. Dolly Parton. I have no idea. I don't know any country western artists, to be totally honest. I know some alt country, but he doesn't look like an alt country type of guy. I don't think he's listening to like Sun Volt and Whiskey Town. I think he's probably a little bit more, top 40 country. Well, no, he's probably more like classic country. Now the sort of gears are spinning. Anyway, yeah. You're looking forward to Zombies from Mars Kickstarter. Yes, of course. That's absolutely true as well. Yeah, that is absolutely true. I'm looking forward to more Animal Wars: The Kingdom stuff. I'm looking forward to Space Zombies from Mars. I'm looking forward to Bushido stuff. That's the stuff that's sort of taken up the most of my time. So that's where I know all about that stuff. But some of the other stuff's just been sort of lost almost. Red Fives calling it a night. Have a great rest of the show. Looking forward to all things AWOC in 2025. Red Five, I think I have something I'm shipping out to you as well, if I'm not mistaken. And I will try to get them mailed out on Friday before I leave for a couple weeks. Justin Mohan, did you get the Rattler? Yes, I did. I'm such a sucker. That's 2025, isn't it? I can't even keep up with what I've pre-ordered. Yes, I am getting the Rattler. Sci-Fi George says, be careful opening the cockpit windows. I opened the rear one and heard a snap and saw that the hinge was intact, but went from clear to opaque. That was the only issue I had. I was very, very careful with that. And haven't had any issues with mine. Thankfully, knock on wood, or bamboo in this case. But Justin Mohan says, I never put stickers on because they come off eventually. Yeah, I know, but there's something appealing to a sticker that's peeling off slightly to me. And I think that, I think I'm a little bit different than a lot of collectors in that way. That like, a toy that has paint rub and a toy that the sticker's peeling off is like a toy that was played with. And so I have a certain sort of like romanticized, idea of a played with toy. People will get like pristine vintage stuff, which is great. I mean, if that's what you're after, that's great. That's awesome. Like, get that stuff because that's a cool thing to have. But a lot of the vintage stuff that I have is like really, it looks like it's been played with. And I like something, if I'm buying a vintage toy, I like something that's between mint and kind of like very obviously played with. I don't like, a beater, but I do like when there's a little bit of paint, when there was silver on something, but it's kind of rubbed off a little bit, or a tampo is a little bit mucked up or whatever. I like that. To me, it adds a little bit of character to a toy. So everybody's different. And I know a lot of people that probably won't put the stickers on their Dragonfly for that exact same reason. But when I'm swooping it around the house, chasing after a stinger, and I've got a Rattler, running behind me, which will also have decals. I got to put the stickers on. I got to do it. Ray Pass somehow just jumping back and forth in time. Ray Paz says, I'm about 10 minutes behind. I'm just about to hit 2 times play to try and catch up. I want to see how all your figures turned out. All right. Justin says, where are you going on vacation? I am actually going to Hawaii, the Big Island, for 2 weeks. And there's not much for toy stores there. There's not much for collectibles and stuff like that. So it's just me and the family, swimming and sitting out in the sun and just hanging out and relaxing. I will be taking a computer to work every day, but I'll be working, an hour or 2 every day, not, my full, 9 to 5 plus my 2 other sort of toy jobs on the side. Take care, Mr. Backtastic. Good to have you, Dave. Talk to you soon, my friend. Jeffrey, this is kind of where I'm at, man. This is it in a nutshell. Better for the sticker to rot on the toy than to rot on the sticker sheet. I think they won't last forever either way. I think you're probably right. These are really nice stickers, though. These are verging on decals, I would say. Sci-Fi George says, I don't care about zombies, but I got to get those retro astronauts figures, so I'm in for space zombies for Mars. That's awesome, man. That's good to hear. I hope that everybody can find something in that line that appeals to them. I think, if you're doing classified, you might not be fully into zombies like you, Sci-Fi George. But I think the astronauts fit, right? The astronaut suits will sort of fit in with classified. So yeah, hopefully, you can find something that you love in there. And when we launch the Kickstarter on March 1st, you'll hear me talking about it probably almost every day. All right, let's get into Crazy Legs. Now, Crazy Legs and Ripcord are where I've sort of seen people have some QC issues. So I'm partly opening these just to check for QC issues. And then I don't even know if I'm going to keep them, to be perfectly honest. Because Night Force, I would prefer Crazy Legs in his normal deco, and Ripcord is on my list of figure, like normal issue. Ripcord is like at very, very high up on my most wanted list for classified figures. So very, very much looking forward to getting the other, decos for these guys. Justin Mohan, you have commented this before, and it has been noted. I'm sort of seeing where we might be able to do it in like a wave 2 or something like that. I think you said yellow is the only one that we don't have. I don't think that was intentional. I think that's just the colors that have come out. That being said, I think we've only shown 2 of the colors though. We're doing 2 other colors. So we can do other colors of suits, but yellow wasn't one of them, at least yet. So all right, let's take a look at Crazy Legs. Like I said, Night Force on the front, same box as all the others. His specialty stuff on the side there with a piece of the art, the larger art. He looks like Matt Smith, who played Doctor Who, and now you can't unsee it. Anyway, and then he's got the Dragonfly art on that side. All right, let's get him out of the box. I don't want to be here all night. I mean, I enjoy hanging out with you guys, and I'm very appreciative that you guys are hanging out with me while I open my toys, as always. I'm sure most of you have better things you could be doing. And Ray's caught up, so that's good. Here we go, Crazy Legs. Hope yours is good. I hope so too. I'm not going to force any joints. It was the legs, right? Ray, can you confirm or deny what the QC issue that people have been having? I'm pretty sure it was with the legs being crazy. So hopefully mine is just normal legs. But we shall see in a moment. So get everything else out of here. I think the other thing that I've seen is that people are trying to force the helmet on and they've ripped the chin strap. That chin strap is tiny, but we'll get there in a moment. All right, we got Crazy Legs out of the package. He hasn't fallen apart yet. That's good. Ray Paz has returned from the time stream. He is with us in real time. Well, good to have you, Ray. Good to have you caught up. Now, what is the QC issue that people have had with the legs so that I can try to avoid it by not forcing it to do anything that it doesn't want to. Yep, it's the legs, but what specifically? I think it was the joint, like his hip joint. Is that right? Anyway, we will take a look at the figure. I'm not going to push it. I'm honestly going to heat these guys up before I move any of the joints because I've seen the issues that some people have had. But I can still go over the figure and sort of check it out and check out the accessories and kind of gear him up without probably pushing him too far. Like Glenda, he's got a bit of a soft head sculpt. It's okay. He looks like he could have been in GoldenEye. He could have been in N64 GoldenEye. That's how I feel about this head sculpt. It's just a bit soft. It's a little bit yeah, it's a 64-bit head sculpt. Is what I'll say. The rest of the figure looks good though. The sculpting is good. The sort of quilted padded suit, the jumpsuit is good. The short boots, which have sort of a strap that wraps around, like they're looking pretty good. The Night Force deco doesn't do much for me. The black, red, green is great. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but I just find this bland compared to what the vintage Crazy Legs looks like. So we get the Night Force patch on his shoulder, not on his shoulder, it's on his arm, which makes sense because the quilted part would be really hard to tampo. So they had to kind of, it's funny, they fit it in here between a quilted part and a zipper. So it's kind of awkwardly far back on almost the back of his arm, like almost on his tricep, but it works. It's there. And, they could have just skipped it, but they didn't. So good on them for that. The figure looks good. I'm not going to bend the joints. As I said, I'm going to leave them as is and then heat them up and make sure that everything's all good. But let's take a look at the accessories. We get a silver painted blade. This is a different one than we got with Wild Bill. You get a pistol, which I don't know that I've seen before. I probably have, and I just don't keep track of, every single little one of them. We got 2 pairs of goggles. They're the same goggles, but they are different size straps. So you've got one that will fit over the head and then one that will fit over the helmet. Speaking of that helmet, this is another new one. This is unique to this figure. And you can see how tiny that little chin strap is. So I have seen people force it and tear that chin strap, which, it is what it is. That should be built a little bit stronger, in my opinion. There should be a little bit more material there because everybody's going to snap that. Or they should have just sculpted it to not be attached and you wouldn't have that problem. If you don't want to run the helmet, you can also run the baseball cap. I think this is kind of a cool option. I like that they sort of give you another option. Maybe he doesn't always want to wear a helmet. Maybe he's doing a mission on land where he doesn't have to jump out of a plane first. So maybe the ball cap would work just fine for that. I'm trying to make these accessories so that you can actually see them. I just realized that not everything was in shot. So there you go. We get a really cool little gun. So this is pretty unique. I don't remember seeing this in Classified before. This is more rigid. So they've started to use a plastic that is a little bit stiffer, which is phenomenal because all those gummy, soft weapons was a pain in the butt. Removable magazine. Yep. Cool. It's got a port where you can plug in a blast effect on the end, and it is also folding, which is cool because the vintage figure had that same thing going on with his weapon. This is a really, really cool little weapon. I am really digging this, and I may keep this figure just because I like this gun so much. Last but not least, he comes with his parachute pack, and this looks like, and I could be wrong, maybe one of you knows parachute packs better than I do. This looks like it's sort of a quick deploying parachute, which is why you get sort of more of the stuff on the outside there, and then you've got the cord there. So that's my guess. I'm guessing that this is like a quick deploy parachute so that he can drop a little bit further before he pulls the chute. Anyway, that is the figure. Let me get in the chat here for a minute, and then I'll get back to putting some of the accessories on him. Solo Sinners here. What's going on, buddy? Good to have you. Sci-Fi George says, as a Doctor Who fan, particularly Matt Smith. Matt Smith is my personal favorite. You just blew my mind. I hadn't even noticed the resemblance on Crazy Legs box panel. If it had been a Cyberman, I'd be deleted. Yep, absolutely. And now you can't unsee it. It looks 100% like it is Matt Smith. And I just noticed that your avatar is, I think, Matt Smith. Sci-Fi George also says, so far the only sub-team from G.I. Joe I like is Night Force. None of the others, Tiger Force or Marauders, interest me, even though I loved the animated movie. Sub-teams were sort of my easy out to, not being a completist. As soon as they did some of the Tiger Force stuff, I love the Tiger Force deco. As a kid, I love those figures. I have a bunch of the vintage figures in Tiger Force. I haven't bought a single Tiger Force figure. It just doesn't fit in the collection for me anymore. It fit that vibe for me as like a 10-year-old kid or 12-year-old kid or whatever buying G.I. Joes when they were in Tiger Force deco. And the Marauders kind of same thing, but now they kind of just look forced. It looks like a repaint, and it doesn't look right to me in terms of the headcanon for my G.I. Joe Classified. So I'm the same way. The exception is like a couple of the figures. Big Ben is a Night Force. It's Night Force Big Ben. I don't think we're going to get another Big Ben. So if that's the Big Ben that we get, so be it. So I picked him up. But the Night Force stuff and the Tiger Force stuff and the Python Patrol stuff. And is that it? Is that all the weird sort of repaint subline things? The only thing that I'm sort of a sucker for is the bats. I think I have all of the different bats, but partly because I think that makes sense. And in my head canon, it makes sense that like Destro has his own bats. Zaymot and Tomax have their own bats. Everybody sort of has their own bats because they're just paying Destro to make, the color that works for their sort of faction. But and Sci-Fi George says, yes, my avatar is the 11th Doctor. Ray says, I think the Night Force sub-team is the best out of all the sub-teams. I like the black. The black is fine. It just seems boring. There's so many characters that are like so colorful and so like fun. And then to just get a black version, it's fine. I don't need it. Justin Mohan, I would like to see new sub-teams, but not sure how they would sell. I would be more interested in that than seeing the same ones that we've seen before. I would be much more open to that, I think, than Tiger Force. Now, when they do a Vamp version or a Tiger Force version of the Vamp, the Tiger Sting, I'm definitely buying one of those. Let's see. Justin says the Arctic figures were cool, but I don't know how many characters they did. Well, they did Snow Job. They did the Arctic Bats. They've done Snow Serpent. And I suspect that they probably do others. Like you've got Iceberg and Frostbite that I can think of. I know that I'm just drawing a blank on the other, Arctic themed Joes. I know there's a couple others. That version of Stalker, I think they could do with the kayak. I would love that one. I loved that figure in the vintage collection. So the vintage collection, it makes it sound like it was remade. That vintage, I think it was Stalker version 2, where he had like the parka and the kayak and the black beanie, and that was such a cool figure. They're all going batty for bats. I am. I just got the Iron Grenadier bats, and they're pretty awesome. And Sci-Fi George says the bats to me are like Pringles. You can't have just one. I don't have one of any of them. I think I have 6 of the version 1. And then I have a couple of the Crimson ones. I have a couple of the Iron Grenadiers ones. I didn't get the Arctic ones. That seemed like that one was weird. So I didn't get those ones, but I think I have at least 2 of all the others. And I think like I said, I think I have 6 of the first one, maybe 8 actually. I think I bought 2 more on sale recently. So I think that's 8. Anyway, I love the bats. I was going to get this guy geared up. All right, let's do that. And then I will open my man Ripcord. I love Ripcord. I really hope we get a standard deco Ripcord. Because the Ripcord was one of my absolute favorites as a kid. Vintage figures, just the sort of simple design, like he just got a green camel suit with a parachute and away you go. But I just loved it. I don't want to put the helmet on. I'm going to be honest. I don't want to put that on. At least not right away. So I'm going to put the hat on because Ripcord's going to get a helmet, and I want him to look a little bit different. And because I kind of like I said, that we get this alternate option for the characters. But this looks awesome. The kind of snub front, snub nosed and sort of folding stock, and really big magazine. Like it's just kind of chunky and odd, and I love it. And it just looks good. It looks good in his hand. So there's that too. That's kind of a bonus. Oh no, Glenda. All right. You stay put. Put that on that side. And I'll put that right there. There we go. I have all the bats except for Python and Grenadier, but I'm working on it. That's okay. I didn't get the Python one either. I thought that deco was odd. The Grenadier bats are actually really cool. I just opened mine like a week ago, and I'm digging them. I think this is release. When they release Footloose, that's the last figure I bought in the original Real American Hero line. Can't wait for Footloose. Yeah, Footloose looks pretty good. I'm excited for Footloose too. He's coming in 2025, right? If he's coming in 2025, that's definitely one that I'm looking forward to. It would be cool if Delta 17 crew did Canadian G.I. Joe style stuff, like it's a Canadian G.I. Joe line where everybody is from Canada. Yeah, but I don't know how well that would sell. But that's okay. They should do it like they did with G.I. Joe, where like some of the file cards, there's like alternate file card. Sci-Fi George, if they do a retro for Wild Bill, I think he'll be wearing his blue denim look with the tan vests. I think you're probably right. Because I don't know how much more like retro you could sort of do this one. Like it works. Like this looks like the vintage figure. Will the cap fit on backwards? Let's find out. I kind of wanted to know that too. Yeah. It fits. It looks just because of the design, it looks kind of odd to me. because this is not like a normal baseball cap, it looks kind of weird. I think if it was just a baseball cap, it would look a little bit better, but because they've got it like they've sort of done like a 5-panel cap, I think is what they're called. I don't know. I wear them all the time. I think it's called a 5-panel cap. It looks odd backwards, which a 5-panel cap looks odd backwards. Oh, Glenda, come on now. It's been a long night for Glenda. She's had too much eggnog, and now she's a little tipsy. Okay. Justin says, side note, when I was walking outside today, people in my neighborhood were playing hockey on a pond outside. It was so Canadian. I'm sure there's ponds in other countries that people play hockey on, but yeah, that's pretty normal in Canada. Ray Pass says looks better to me. Fair enough. That's yeah, it's not. Everybody's gonna have different preference. So Crazy Legs and Alpine shop at the same haberdashery. I think you might not be wrong. For sure. Okay, Night Force Ripcord from the Haas Lab, set here. Again, same thing. You get the specializations on the side. You get the very handsome artwork. You look at this dashing gentleman. I don't know who he looks like. He doesn't look like Matt Smith. And then the dragonfly art on the other side. But yeah, he's got a flight helmet here too, which is very, very cool. Oh, his backpack fell right out. It looks like it opens. There's no parachute in it, but it does look like it opens. As I said, I am really excited about this figure, but I'm more excited about getting the standard deco for this same figure. But I'm hoping that this is a great figure, and that when we get the standard deco version, it's just as good, maybe better, and just in my opinion, better deco. I'm going to open this guy up and then wrap it up. But yeah, it's been a blast. It's been a pleasure. And I'm not done yet, but I will be soon. So I'm just giving you fair warning, okay? Just so that everybody knows. I don't want anybody to feel abandoned, especially not on Christmas. Okay, so here is Ripcord of the Night Force variety. First impressions. I like it. I like it a lot. And I'm just imagining in my head the deco reversed. So, green camo jumpsuit, black web gear, black gloves, black boots, and I am here for it. This looks good. He's got an interesting sort of wash that makes his hair look dusty. I don't know how they've managed that. His face sculpt is a little bit better. It's not the best classified face sculpt, but it is a little bit better. You get a Night Force patch on one arm there, and then that new sort of Night Force logo with the lion on the other side there. On his shoulders, because he's not in the quilted suit. Now, this is a lot of reuse of Wild Bill. So it looks like the torso, it looks like the legs, and it looks like the arms are all Wild Bill. The lower arms are the exception, and the boots and the head sculpts obviously are different. The necks are different. He's got sort of a mock turtleneck almost on, whereas Wild Bill has exposed chest and exposed neck. I would have liked, no, retro, we could see a version of this in a slightly different color. He could have a bandana. I think that could be that's how they'll get you on the retro one. But yeah, this figure looks really, really good, and it looks just like that one did. So, I'm very impressed with both of them for that reason. I think if one of these has a QC issue, it'll probably be both of them. Like if it's engineered badly in any way, I'll probably see it on both of them. Hopefully I don't have it on either of them. I think it's just been Crazy Legs that's had the QC issue. He does have I think it's an altimeter. Does anybody jump out of planes and know whether that's an altimeter or not? Or whether an altimeter is even a real thing? Anyway, yeah, altogether very sort of satisfied with the sculpt. Let's put him over here so he doesn't knock Glenda over, and take a look at the accessories. As I already mentioned, you get the backpack, and this is a nice big backpack. This has, a full-on straps, so that this is going to have to mount onto the figure. It still has the peg for the hole as well, so it's going to be a nice secure backpack. It looks like it opens, and I'm thinking that it opens. I don't need to open it, but yeah, there's a peg. Well, no, I kind of do need to open it because I want to see how much space there is. It's pretty big. It's pretty nice, and I bent it really far, and I've already taxed the plastic there. That's okay. I don't even care. It's a toy. But there's a peg there too, which makes me think, oh wait, is this the same backpack as the 60th anniversary figure that did have a parachute? I didn't get that figure, so I wonder if that's the same, and maybe there's a parachute in the other one. So maybe that makes sense. Maybe that's why maybe that's why that looks the way that it does. I'm not going to put that on the figure because that's going to be a hassle and it's going to take me too long, so I don't want to do it. This we've seen before. We've seen this one a couple times. Not much to say about that. This we have seen a couple times. Again, not much to say about that. This pistol we've seen a bunch of times. I think this was in wave 1 with Duke, going all the way back to the first wave of Classified. Move him back a little bit. There, you can see all that stuff. Goggles, if you don't want to run the helmet. And then the helmet with that sort of shield on it. And this, of course, slides down. It'll fit over the eyes. Slides up so you can see his face. This is done really, really well. This is really slick. Looks very good. You've got sort of a camera on there with a little hit of red on the I guess it's the lens or something like that. But very, very cool. Very, very excited. I'm just thinking of this in green. Or no, this would actually be black. This is sort of on point with the vintage one. The helmet was black. Was it? I think the helmet was black. Yeah, it looked like a little bowling ball because it was just a little round helmet. And then you get a mask as well, and this is going to plug into the sides of the helmet. There's little ports there. If I put my finger in, you can see the hole where that's going to plug in either side, and then clip in to a little pouch on his hip right there. So I'm not going to get this guy all geared up, but I am going to put the helmet on, put the mask on, just because I can't not do it. I'm very much looking forward to this. I'm very excited about this because I love this character and I love this figure as a kid. And what I loved about this character and this figure was this. I loved the little mask that it came with, and that you had to fit it over the helmet. And if you did it just right, it looked so good. And this is not easy to put on. I wonder if there's a trick to this, but oh, come on. Okay, Okay, the first side went on really easy, and now I'm struggling with the other side. Again, I think this is one of those, like, if I heat it up, like, it feels a little bit crooked, like it was sort of stuck in the package. There we go. I think if you heat it up, you could sort of fit it a little bit better. And then this, as I said, there's the little hose end plugs in here. So cool. This is the kind of stuff that I love. I love these little accessories that sort of work together and sort of connect together. Oh, that looks so good. That looks so good. I think we're going to see a lot of parts reused from these in the Rattler as well. I think Wild Weasel might have some of these parts. But anyway, this guy looks awesome. He looks so badass. And I wonder what if, let's try. Just want to pop this off and see. No, it won't really move out of the way. I was hoping you could do that sort of like Top Gun thing where you could just have it sitting sort of on there, but not on there. But it doesn't really work, but that's okay. It looks rad plugged in on both sides. It looks really good. This figure I'm loving, and even more excited now to get the standard deco version. So there you go. That's the sort of Christmas lineup. We got Santa, we got the Harry Potter spell potion thing, and we got all 4 of the G.I. Joe HasLab Dragonfly figures unboxed. Last couple comments, and then we'll wrap it up here. Let me see what we got here. Great lineup. Absolutely. As I said, I would have maybe liked 1 Night Force rather than 2, but I can take it. I like that we got, Glenda as a figure that we probably wouldn't get in the standard line, and then Wild Bill's a no-brainer. So, Sci-Fi George says, Ripcord looks a little James Bondish. Put him in a suit. I said it before, and I'll say it again. AWOC is my spirit animal. Absolutely, man. I'm happy to hear that. AWOC is probably my spirit animal, too. Any pre-order news for Bushido? No, nothing yet. I don't know. I've been sort of kept in the dark. It was, I can't tell you this. As soon as we can, it'll go up for pre-order. There's been a couple little delays behind the scenes and stuff like that, just getting sort of final pricing. Also certain events that you may have heard about in the news may change the pricing on things that get imported from China. And so as a result of that, I think we're kind of just waiting to see exactly what that looks like, because if we put pre-orders up and then all of a sudden everything costs us 30% more, we would basically have to cancel the pre-orders because we couldn't afford to take that hit. But optimistically, I'm optimistically thinking that it's not going to be as big of a hit as it could be, I guess. But yeah, stay tuned. As soon as there's any Bushido pre-order news, I will be talking all about it, because I can't wait to get those figures, and I can't wait for other people to get those figures as well. Yeah. Anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you guys all for joining me on a lovely Christmas night. We've had some fun, with toys. We've had a good time chatting. Hope you guys have had a wonderful day. Hope you have a wonderful evening, and hopefully you've had some time to relax. Hopefully you get a day off or two, whether it was today or tomorrow or whenever. Thanks for being here. I think this is probably my last live video of 2024. I just realized that. So it's been an absolute pleasure. Another year in the books, and here's to 2025. Till next time, guys. Bye-bye.